Hello guys, I am Parminder from Manya the Princeton Review, and we are here today to because 6th May we have our SAT coming and we have to prepare for it. We have been with you and we are here again with you to talk about the last minute strategies, because we know we do not have enough time left and we have to prepare, we have to revise, and we have to be very ready for our D-Day, for our final test day. I'll keep on repeating myself a little bit because I let the students to join, and we'll quickly we'll quickly come on the point also in 5 or 10 minutes. So let's start. Let's have a quick start. I'm sure that you all know that your SAT is here, and you are I'll talk about few strategies initially, and one thing, if you have any question, please write on the comment section. I'll read your questions and reply on that. Again, I'm Parminder from Manya the Princeton Review. I'm a verbal faculty, and we have a group here, math faculties and the admission counselors. Everybody is here to help you in this session for your SAT and your after SAT also. Okay, so first thing is, SAT is a paper pencil based test, and it's not a screen based test, unlike the other tests which come for graduate master students. Since it is a paper pencil based test, it is very advisable that you use your pencil as aggressively as possible, because the more you use your pencil, the more you are going to tire yourself, and the more you're going to concentrate on your exam. Another thing is bubble sheet. I know I'm going to say something which you already know, but this is very important, and I know in excitement or in in hurry or sometime in panicking, you don't do this. So another thing which I'm going to repeat is, please mark your bubble sheets. Your bubble sheets are very important. So another thing you have to do is, please see that you're marking the right answer on the bubble sheet. It's good to see that there are more viewers who are joining in, so I don't want them to have a loss. Hi guys, I'm Parminder. Welcome here again. We are here to talk about the last minute strategies for SAT test, because your SAT test is coming on 6th May and it's not very far. We have 6 days left, and 6 days are too short, I know. So we have to be very prepared with the last minute tips, very basic things we don't forget, because SAT is here, and the things you have to do in these 6 days, these 6 days are very important. These are as important as your other 3 months were when you prepared, and the last day, because that day is again very important. You don't have to tire yourself, you don't have to stress yourself, because stressing doesn't give you anything. And this test, the more you stress in this test, the more you're going to do mistakes. Okay, so there are more viewers who have joined in. Welcome guys. I'm Parminder from Manya the Princeton Review, and I'm here to help you with the last minute strategies for SAT test, which is going to come on 6th May. Okay, so I've decided, so before going on to the strategies, actually I like giving this analogy, which I call it game analogy. The analogy is, so for a game, can you understand things by reading or just by seeing? If you say I've seen 100 of matches, can you say you can play cricket? No, right? Similarly, your SAT is just like a game. The more you practice, the better you're going to perform there. So practice, practice, practice as much as you can, because practice is the key to SAT. You can't cram things. SAT is not about cramming. So you have to practice as much as possible. And we have 6 days left, and these 6 days also have to be used for practicing, but a specific kind of practice. Okay, so let's start talking about, so I've divided my session into 2-3 pointers. One is what to do in the 6 days or the last day before the exam, and what to do on the exam day, because that is very important. So I am speaking from Delhi and I represent the all over India, and for those students who are with us, we are always here to help you. And there was a question from Danish, right? So we are always here to help you. You can reach to your teachers, revise, and if you're not enrolled, then too we are here for your help. Please call us and we'll provide you as much help as possible. Okay, so as I said, let me continue again. As I said that I'll divide the session into 2 parts. First part, I'm going to talk about what to do in the 6 days we are left with, and the last day before the exam, and what to do on the exam day, the last minute resorts. So let's start with the week before exam. Now I'll start with the section which is the scariest one, which scares us the most, and which luckily is coming first, which is called reading section. Let me take the full name, evidence-based reading. And it's good to remember that it's evidence-based reading, because your teacher must be telling you why it is an evidence-based reading, because your answers are not of your thinking, neither what you believe in. Your answers are highly supported by the text you're going to read. That is why this test is predictable. Trust me, this test is very, very predictable. Don't assume anything which is not predictable there. You have given number of marks and you know how this test will be like. So let's recap the strategies to make the predictable thing very, very achievable. Okay, so reading, as I said, is evidence-based reading. So for reading, for every question, what you must do is you must have a potential answer before you go on to the answer choices, because having a potential answer helps you in many ways. One is, if you keep reading every answer choice and try to find out whether that is answer or not, that will not just waste your time, will also trick you, because there are many tricky answer choices which are given there so that you apply a lot of your knowledge. So having a potential answer beforehand will reduce your time. You won't waste your time. Second, you won't fall into the traps, because you would know what is a probable answer. So this is something you have to do in these 6 days. So you have 6 days left. I will suggest all of you to take at least one full-length test in these 6 days, and every day do one sectional practice. Why you have to do one sectional practice, and that also timed? You can't do anything untimed. Why a timed sectional practice? Because in a timed sectional, if you do SAT, you do one question, right? So you don't get that hang of the test. Guys, I'll just tell you one thing. Please keep asking questions, because I'm here to answer your queries. Your answers are invited. Please posting your answers as I'm speaking. You may be having specific doubts too. So I'll take up your answers as and when you write in the comment section there. Okay, so I was on a point that you must have a potential answer for each question. Okay, so for that, how will you do that in these 6 days? I mean, I won't say it is not possible. You can do it in these last 6 days also. What about the subject test? Okay, we'll talk about subject test also, because right now the closer one is the SAT. We'll talk about subject test also, Hashita, and you'll get your reply soon. Okay, so potential answer, very important thing and normally neglected thing by each student, because the moment you feel I'm not able to do it, you tend to eliminate that practice from the practice you do. But you don't have to do that, because that is something, not advisable. I'll suggest you to have a potential answer, and all the practice tests and all the sessional practice you're going to do from today onwards, please predict an answer. answer, come back to us, ask us how to do that. We'll help you in that. Okay, so Harshita, there's a question for you. Please answer that so that we can help you with the subject test. Okay, so let's move ahead, guys, and you can keep posting your questions on the comment section, and the viewers are increasing, so keep liking the page and keep asking the questions so that we can answer accordingly. Okay, so let's move ahead, and another important thing is, which is very connected to a potential answer, is being cautious of extra information. Anushka, yes, it is very, very possible to move up from 1318 to 1500, but that requires a very strenuous practice. So your 6 days have to be utilized to the full, right, on whatever I'm speaking. So that is what you have to you have to do. So how to predict answers? So supposedly you have a question, why XYZ, why in 20 to 30 Mr. BB said so. So for that, what you will do is, you will go back to the passage, read some lines above, some lines below, and predict a probable answer that why Mr. BB said so in those lines. That is called prediction, and that helps you in reducing the chances of going into traps. Okay, so I'll talk about that, Hashita, what to do in these last 6 days. That is what I'm talking. Each day we have to do a sectional practice, and by sectional practice I mean, today you do one full length reading section, tomorrow you do a full length math section, or maybe day after tomorrow you do the full length writing and language section. You just not only have to do practice sessions. You also have to you just not have to do the practice session, you also have to review your sessions very, very carefully. I know, Charan, this is very frustrating that I'm doing the test is very frustrating. I mean, a 4-hour test where you're sitting for so long. By the time you're at math section, you're irritated, but I feel it is good to have verbal before, because you're at least fresh at that time, and you can concentrate on verbal. Suppose what if the verbal was after math? It would have been a bad case. Okay, so to come over this frustration, the only thing, Charan, is that you practice a lot in the last 6 days. Give time to some exercises, give time to eat good food, do practice in the breaks, and do time practice sessions, because that is very important. If you don't do time practice session, that is not going to help you. As I said, it's a game. For a game, you have to prepare the way you're going to perform there. Okay, so how to concentrate throughout is by practicing. See, you are for game, you don't go onto the ground and suddenly concentrate over the game. You practice for a long duration, and then your concentration builds. So that is what you have to do here. For last 3 months you have been doing this, and last 6 days you have to be just confident. You have to say this to yourself, that you can do this test. You know this test, right? You have given so many mock tests, so you know this test, and you are going to do good in this test. So please practice as much. How meditation will help? Meditation will really help. I mean, I know meditating is very difficult for us because we are the fastest generation. We believe in something fast. You play, don't meditate if you don't like meditating. Play, exercise, eat good food, okay, and give good time to your practice. Okay, so I was on a is pencil work really important? Yes, it is, Ishan, because if you're going to retain every information in your head, you're not going to do well on this test. By the time you are in writing and language section, or by the time you're on the 5th passage, you will forget almost everything you have read, right? Or your brain will get tired, right? So it's very important that you keep using your pencil. And how to use your pencil is, mark whether the question is what or why. Wherever you're going, wherever you're finding the answer, make a big circle that my answer looks something like this, or keep underlining or keep crossing out answer choices which are not the answer to your question, right? So you have to use pencil in that way. Math, I don't have to suggest you how to use pencils, because you're going to solve the question by pencils. I mean, it's easier to use pencil there, and it's tougher to use pencil in reading section because we don't have the habit to do so, and we keep on reading and retaining information, which is not good. Okay, so let's move on to the second point of reading section. The second most important thing you have to do while you're doing this, practicing in these 6 days, that is, be cautious of extra information. Anything you feel is not supported by the text is not your answer. Please don't apply extra information there, because that is not going to help you. So please, anything which seems outside is simply out. You can't support that by a far-fetched reasoning. So that is again connected to your potential answer. If you have a potential answer, eliminating that will become easier. Now, another important thing, if you come across a question where you're giving a lot of time, you have given 3 minutes and the answer still you're doubtful of the answer, the advisable thing is give up. Giving up can do wonders, right? So you're not a warrior there who has to conquer a question. Leaving a question or getting a question wrong will not make a big effect on your test scores. Okay, so you have to be cautious. You have to be very cautious that you don't spend more than 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes on a question. And the easy way to study is doing those questions first which have line reference, going back to the passage and reading for those questions, and then getting the answer, right? Okay, so next is the line reference question. As I said, you have to, for a line reference question, you are not reading. See, we know SAT has designed time so that we are unable to read the whole passage. So therefore the technique is that you do those questions first which are pertaining to a specific part of the passage, and you go back to that part, read the part, get the answer, and then go on to the answer choices. Now when you're going to read that part, you know that the answer is not going to come just from those 2-3 lines. The answer will fall little above or little below. So it's always advisable, because you're not reading the whole passage, that you read a good part of the passage before you predict any answer for your actual answers, before marking the actual answers. So that is very, very important thing. Please make a note of this, that in these 6 days you mark predict your answers, you do the line reference questions first, and then you eliminate your answer and get to the right answer. And how much time you should spend on a passage is close to 11 minutes each passage, right? You have a total time which is 65 minutes, so one passage will take close to 11 minutes, and you would know that you can do maybe a single passage good, or dual passage is not that good, so you don't have to worry a lot at this time. If you feel you can do the other 4 passages better, it's better that you focus on them and get the maximum right out of them. That can also enhance your score, right? You can't afford to get lazy in this test. So by the time you're on the 3rd passage, you know you have done pretty good job, and you may have got all the 30 correct. So you can't relax and say that no, my 30 is correct, or you can't say that I'm lazy, I can't do it. You have to have confidence and energy, and you have to motivate yourself, right? That on the 4th passage also you have to be equally energetic and equally focused. That is the D-day you can do that, right? Maybe 6 days you can practice this. Okay, so next is time management. Managing time is very, very important, and time management is the biggest, a trouble in reading section, I know. Writing and language and math sections, maybe I'm not saying that it's always. You may not come across a lot of, time issues, but in reading we do have a time issue. So if you have a time issue, and if you feel that time issue is not resolving, find out a way. So what happens? Are you unable to solve the paper in 65 minutes? Do you leave one full passage? So see, how do you form on the remaining 4 passages? If you do a pretty good job, or if there is a scope of doing a pretty good job on the other 4 passages, and you can leave one passage, it's good to adapt that technique now, right? Maybe you can score better just by doing the 4 passages and mark anything for the last passage which you were unable to do. So we know letter of the day, have a favorite letter of the day, mark mark B for all remaining 10 questions, right? Oh, okay, so that is what you have to do before moving on to the next section. Your bubble sheet should be completely filled. So time management is, you have to understand how to manage time. You won't do anything impromptu on the exam day. So everything has to be pre-prepared and everything has to be fully solved and fully clear before you go to the exam. Okay, so let's talk about day before exam, and before that writing and language and math section, right? Writing and language, I would like to have questions from all of you. If you have any questions about evidence-based writing and language and scoring process, yes, we'll explain about scoring process also. So the scoring is out of 1600, 800 for math, 800 for verbal, and you can refer to our books which are given to you. There's a rough conversion table. Normally, if your test has come out to be easy, your scoring is not always same. The conversion table, there can be fluctuations in the conversion table. There could be tough scoring and there could be easier scoring. So if your test has come out to be easy, there could be tough scoring, maybe. And if your test has come out to be very difficult, your scoring could be easier, right? And they don't disclose the scoring in detail. So there's a rough conversion table in the books which are given to you. If you don't have that, you can refer to the College Board's website also. And there is no negative scoring in the exam. So therefore, marking LOTT is good, right? Okay, so we were on evidence-based writing and language. Evidence-based writing and language, if you can write your questions if you have any questions for evidence-based writing and language. It's easier because your job is like an editor or a proofreader, read the given sentences and provide the corrections of that, or maybe bring the consistency as per the question which are asked. So there are primarily two kinds of question. The one type of question is not asking you a question that directly answer choices, right? And do we have, one second, there's a question, do we have a sectional cutoff? So Hitesh, what do you mean by sectional cutoff? I would like to have an explanation on that. I mean cutoff as per the university, or how the sectionally scores are given. Okay, so let's continue. So you have a proofreader question where there's no question, the answers are changing. Ask yourself a foundational question we have been teaching you. What is changing in the answer choices? And provide a construction as per the demand, right? The moment the students are more scared of edit a question which is asking you to bring consistency, weaken, strengthen, give a heading or so. Trust me, these questions are easier because they're asking you a question. There's no ambiguity. You know what you have to do. So read your question as carefully as possible and get the right answer. Eliminate the one which cannot be your answer. Trust me, there will be two very, very ridiculous or haha answer choices which are just given so that you waste your time on them and eventually lose time for the other potential questions. So it's always good to eliminate the ones which are not your answer and address the task as much as possible. That will become your answer. And for maths, we know there's a two-pass approach which have been taught to you in the classes. For those who have not been enrolled with us, I'll tell you that there's a two-pass approach we normally give our students, something very basic, but you have to do the application. The basic things doesn't become true just by their nature, right? Because they're basic. You have to apply those basic things. Then only they will yield benefits, or then only they will yield the fruits, right? So the two-pass approach is doing the easier questions first, and easier questions can be as per your personal order of difficulty, and then moving on to the difficult question, because you may be spending a lot of time on them, and then maybe you may have time troubles which may or may not be possible. So it's advisable that you do easier questions first and leave the tougher questions for later on, right? Okay, so let's move on to a day before exam. A day before exam is a good sleep, right? That is very important. I know sleeping is very difficult. You know there's a D-day after that and you don't feel like sleeping. There are, dreams, scary dreams, and when you sleep, you see you're writing exams in your dream. But a good sleep is very important. How can you sleep good? I'll tell you that, right? Because what you do is, you don't do the right thing so that you sleep good. So throughout the day, before your exam, you don't have to study. Nobody is going to study before the exam day, because cramming things are not going to help you, and cramming things are not at all, I mean, SAT is not about cramming. So you have to understand that, right? So a day before your exam, relax, chill, watch comedy movies, laugh out, exercise. You must exercise in the morning and in the evening also, because exercise is going to tire your body or maybe relax your body, and you will have a good sleep in the night. If you don't exercise, keep sitting on a couch and keep watching the movies or the comedy serials, your body won't require sleep. It will be, you know, in the middle. So you have to understand that a good exercise before your exam, the day before your exam, and good food is very, very important. Don't eat junk, please. Eat good nutritious food and exercise in the morning and the evening, watch comedy movie, and you'll have a good sleep, right? Sleeping is, I mean, a good sleep is very, very important. And the 7 things you must have before your exam day, because the morning you're just going to pick up that bag and run to your centers. Already you will be in the very, very anxious situation on the exam day. So don't keep the things to be, don't keep the things so that you prepare those things in the morning. Okay, Hitesh, my admission counselors will answer to that question, that what is a good score to enter into elite university. See, any score is good. If that matches the university you want to go to, that score is good, right? And US and foreign universities are not crazy about numbers, let me tell you, right? We are more inclined towards everything 90s. Below 90 is not our standards, right? But that is not the thing in foreign universities. They not just see your scores, they also see your overall profile, right? So a good score is anything which makes you a good application and a good aspirant for the university. So the university, if the university feels you can be an add-on to the university, they will definitely take you. Then, I mean, the score can be, it can be anything. I've seen my student getting into good universities with 1300 and 1250 also. That is not a thing, right? And a good university is not just one which comes in the top 10 rankings. The one which produces good student, give you good placements, are also good universities, right? So the 7 things, right, Swati? I'm going to answer that. First and the foremost thing is, please make a note of that, your admission ticket. That is very important. And with your admission ticket, your passport. And your passport without expiry date. Nobody will carry the passport which has expired. That is very important. A funny thing, but is important, right? Okay. Another is 2 or 3 mechanical pencils and good eraser and a good sharpener. Watch, it can be analog is preferable, or it can be digital. Please switch off your alarm if you have put any alarm. Calculator with your new batteries, and snacks and a bottle of water. Take something to eat when you have a 10 minutes break. It's preferable that you eat something and energize yourself. Stretch yourself, drink water, and though there will be watch, on the wall, but it's preferable that you have your watch in front of you and you're managing your time, right? As I said, game analogy, right? In game, what matters is the practice, right? How do you practice? You're going to replicate the same thing there. Nothing is going to go impromptu. So don't improvise anything on the exam day, guys. This is very, very serious thing, right? You improvise and then you see that the things are failing. So improvisation can actually result bad. So it's better that whatever score you were getting, then whatever practices you have been doing and whatever score you were getting, it's better to replicate the same. I understand that you must have got, not a very good score in your mocks, or you must have got a very good score in your mocks, so you must not be satisfied. As there was one question that how can I reach from 1315 to 1500? Everybody dreams of 1500, right? So that is possible only when you replicate the techniques there. If you change things and do improvisation, then it may, result in opposite. You may fall from 1315 to something else. So rather than in the aim of going to 1500, you improvise something and that has resulted in opposite, is a bad thing. It's preferable that whatever you have been doing in your mocks, please replicate that. It's very, it's coming from us. It's coming from all of us. We know this thing. Please trust us on this thing. So do the same things you have been doing in your mocks. Okay, so the last day and the very, very important day for us is the D-Day and the last minute resorts. I'm just going to talk about the 4 things we are going to do on the last 4 days, right? On the exam day. The first thing is how to utilize extra time. I know, I mean, you must be finding it a joke that where is there extra time in my SAT exam, right? Supposedly you have in the panicking, right? In the panicking you did the test early. So many people say I panicked, I could not do my test in the time. I mean, I was left with one question. Even doing it early can also be a sign of panicking, right? So I mean, it is true. It can be a sign of panicking. So if you have some time left, please utilize. If it is a reading section, there is even 5 minutes left before the submission before completing that section. It's advisable that you go back to those questions where you had doubt. Redo those questions, be sure, right? Check your bubble sheet. Whereas in math, you can utilize your time. You can utilize your time to take extended breaks also, but in reading section I would suggest, because in the first section you have the energies and you have just started the test, it's better that you redo the questions which were tougher and you had a doubt in, rather than doing almost a new question of primary purpose pertaining to a passage which you were not able to read or so, right? It's better that you go back to those questions which you have already done and you wanted to have a check on that. Okay, so how can I avoid silly mistakes on math section? And in fact, silly mistakes in English section, verbal section, right? One thing is, the moment you start calling your mistakes silly mistakes, they are not going to get improved, right? Because you're giving an excuse that's silly, and silly things can be avoided, right? By maybe luck, or by I won't be silly next time, something like that. One thing is, stop calling your mistakes silly mistakes. It is an advice for all of you to go back to the passages or the practice test you've solved and do all the questions you got wrong again. See the test from the test maker's perspective. How are they building the wrong answer choices? How are they building the question? The answer comes in what ways? How reading better can help me make that question, get the right answer. So you have to be very cautious that in that way, you have to understand the test from the test maker's perspective, and this is a test where you have to be attentive and focused throughout. This is not your 12th exam test and 10th exam test where you learn a lot and then you simply put everything on the paper and then you get scored. You have to be focused and attentive throughout, then only you do a good test, right? So Anju, one thing is that you start doing your questions again. See why did you do those mistakes and how did you do those mistakes and what made you do those mistakes. So do the what, why and how of that question and correct them. Then practice again and see whether that has improved. Even then, if it hasn't improved, please speak to your trainers again. They will definitely help you find out a way, because sometimes we are unable to find out how to correct our mistakes. A trainer can help you better, right? So sometimes we are just stuck that I'm unable to do it. Maybe the help from other side can be really good. And there's a question from Imtiaz: is there a progressive increasing decreasing difficulty in the passages of the first section? No, there is no. It's as per your order. Whatever you find difficult will be difficult. So don't assume anything in the paper that this is difficult, this is easy. Just simply do the paper. Whatever you're finding difficult, leave it for the end, or maybe mark anything, move ahead. You don't have to do excellent on that question and get the high score. Your high score can be a component of just easy and average questions also, right? You may not need to get all the difficult questions correct to have a good score. Okay, so let's move on to the second thing, which is ways to have a stress-free attempt. Stress is one thing, frustration, stress, all these things. So ask yourself this question: is stress going to help you? No, right? Stress is not going to help you. So, and that is a rhetorical question of your essays, right? So the moment there is a rhetorical question, it has answer in it, an essay revision. Okay, so is the stress going to help you? The more you will take stress, the more you're going to do bad on your test. So it's better that you start it today. Start saying this to yourself that you know this test. And you have facts also to support that. Why you know this test is because you have given a number of mock tests. you have taken ample number of practices, you have been getting a score of so and so. So therefore you know the test. Even if you're getting a score of 1100, 1200, you know the test. So why to take stress? What you don't know is how to correct your mistakes, which are not silly. So for that, come back to your trainers, show the kind of mistakes. Maybe you're doing all primary purpose questions wrong. Maybe you're doing all the line reference questions wrong. So there could be scope of improvement at some places, which can be, maybe you are doing very bad in writing and language, and doing a good writing and language can increase your score also, and that is doable in these last 6 days. So don't take stress. Whatever is the cause of stress, please identify that. Come to us if you want help, or maybe write that down, that stress is because of so and so, and find out answers to that. Okay, so another third point is you have to knack your pacing yourself, right? As I said earlier also, that you have to master your pacing yourself, and to do that you should know where you do well and where do you struggle for the right answers. So supposedly in my case, I do very good on literature passage, I do very good on science passages. So what I must do is I must go to those passages first, because I know I'm going to get maximum correct there. So another thing for all of you to do from today onward is, please start seeing all the practice papers you've done and see where you do most of the mistakes and where do you do less mistakes. That will let you know which sections or which kind of passages or which type of passages or which type of questions you're comfortable with. As per that, please make a pacing for yourself, that what time are you going to spend on such so and so question and so questions. And another thing is, know where you can get maximum correct, because your score is a component of the maximum correct. There is no negative scoring. So don't waste your time on the questions which are going to take up a lot of time and eat up the time of other potential questions too, right? And please revise general testing strategies. These 6 days are for that only. You have to keep revising whatever you have been doing in the last 3 months. So what is your technique? What is your how do you solve how many passages do you solve in a day, right? How do you solve a passage? That is what you have to revise in these 6 days. There's a question from Viraj, that how much should we study on a day before the test? Viraj, as I said, no studies before the test day. The more you're going to study on before the test day, the more it is going to panic you, because you'll feel, I know nothing. So please don't do, relax, just watch a movie, sit comfortably, exercise, go for a walk in the evening, go for a walk in the morning, and pamper yourself, right? Basically, and see that you have been getting XYZ in your marks, and you will get probably the similar score in your actual test also. Okay, no, there is no increasing or decreasing difficulty level in any of the sections. It is as per your personal order of difficulty. You may find primary purpose easier, you may find specific questions tougher, right? So it is as per you. You decide in these last 6 days, when you sit for a day today, and when you sit for a day today, take a sectional practice, see what are your problem areas, work on them in the review session, and then again take another test the next day. That has to be sectional, not full length. No. Okay, so they are not arranged in as is being Nazreen, your question is being answered. I'm sure that your question must have been answered. If there's any other question, please say that also. Okay, so revise your general test taking strategies. And any other question from your sides? Guys, all the very best. I know this day is very important for you, but you can give SAT as many times as possible, even if this is your last attempt. And I know that ETS has cancelled the June attempt, and that may have caused a lot of panicking, because you might feel that you're left with less time. But you can take SAT as many times as possible. There's another attempt also coming in the same year if you're in 11th class, so don't panic. And even if this is your last attempt, a decent score is not, I mean, you can't say just 1500 is a good score. A good score can be as per your profile also. So don't discourage yourself. Meet the experts who can help you in getting admission, because your SAT is primarily for getting admission. And again, repeat of the 7 important things which you'll make a bag before the exam day: your admission ticket, your passport, your watch, your calculator with new batteries, and 2 or 3 normal pencils, fully sharpened, not mechanical pencils, something to eat, a good snack, and a water bottle. You will just pick up this bag and go to your exam in the morning. Reach well before time. Don't leave late. And all the very, very best. We all are. Manya, the Princeton Review, is with you. Every trainer, wherever you are, in all over India, we are with you. And feel free to come back to us. There's a question from Anju. When marking the OMR sheet, is there a way to be fast about it? I suggest that when you've done a page of, I mean, when you're on a page and there are supposedly 8 questions, you've done all those 8 questions, quickly mark your 8 answers so that you're not doing this at the end, because that can, you can mark wrong answers in the OMR sheet. It can be, you know, haphazard. So it's better that you do it simultaneously. That is the only fast way to mark the OMR sheet. Okay, so take care of this thing. Don't leave any question unanswered. Mark every question, even if you haven't done it. Mark your letter of the day, and don't forget to carry your essential things with you. Don't forget to come in touch with us, your teachers. We are here to help you in whatsoever way possible. And thank you for joining us live. For further queries, write to info@manyagroup.com, or you may, if you are not enrolled with us, you can also call on 1800-102-4646. Abhishek, how do I know if I am making a progress? So Abhishek, I know this is a tough question. How do I know I am making a progress? Your subject, okay, so before I answer Abhishek, there's one question that there's a June attempt, your subject tests are in June, and if you need any help, you can again come to us. So Abhishek, how are we making progress, right? So you may be doing practice papers from different sources, right? You may be doing College Board, you may be doing Princeton. So you may be seeing that you're doing very good on College Board, whereas in Princeton you're getting a lesser score. It could be that our test papers are difficult, right? Another thing is, if you feel that you know the test, right, there are other things which are bringing you down. Supposedly time, supposedly a simulated situation for the test, supposedly your mental state. So you have to start working on those things in these 6 days. So if you have been able to get a score of 1400, I mean, on and off, that means you have the caliber to get that score, right? So that shows that you're making a progress. And in these 6 days, you can't actually, I mean, you can't tire yourself and you can't burden yourself by saying that I'm going to do 2 practice tests every day. It's better that you analyze your mistakes and do sectional practice every day, and that will show you that if your mistakes go down, that will show you that you're doing you're making a progress, right? Okay, it was wonderful having a session with all of you. I'll again repeat, if you have any queries, write to us at info@manyagroup.com, and for those who are not enrolled with us, we are here to help you. Please call us at 18